So that certain Aquaman starlet is firing everyone. And when I say everyone, I'm not just talking about the PR team that you see listed right here, which we will discuss. I'm talking about wanting to fire everyone right now because, oh man, things they are not going good at all. Now, you and I, we're going to discuss some exclusive content that you're not going to find anywhere else, too. We're going to talk about how far those PR teams actually went, trying to give her a win. Not enough, though, because she is not marketable. We're also going to talk about the legal team here, how the past ones, they've been fired, how these right here, they're in the crosshairs right now, and so much more. Yeah, this stuff, it is bombshell material. You're going to enjoy it today. Fun times, huh? Fun times indeed. So, hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day, by the way. I hope you are doing excellently. And as the headlines are revealing right now, that certain Aquaman starlet, they're firing their PR team. This is just the start from what I'm hearing, by the way. But listen to this here. So that certain Aquaman starlet has ditched her crisis PR firm. So this is a crisis, according to them. And it is, by the way. I mean, if you look at the coverage, this is a mess. Precision Strategies Thursday, after getting frustrated with the press she's received since her bombshell defamation trial kicked off last month. She doesn't like bad headlines. Another source also added to that she is frustrated with her story not being told, quote unquote, effectively. Yeah, it is being told effectively, by the way, just not being told from your narrative. Now, these PR teams, and this isn't the first one that she's fired, by the way, but they've been doing anything they can, short of illegal, to try to bias the media and the public toward JD. They've been hitting up the media saying, here you go. We have something for you. I mean, look at this here. They were talking in the past, for example, here's a witness that's going to come up with the UK trial. Here's everything about them. We've already made an article for you. Now, they go even further, dumping witness statements, ones that weren't available to the public, into the media with promises you can get more if you write what we want. You can see them mentioning it right here. This, by the way, is about the Fairfax County, Virginia case, the one we're looking at. Quote, we've attached that witness statement, the original witness declaration, in the separate U.S. proceedings in Fairfax, Virginia. Then they go even further, writing out the actual narrative that certain Aquaman starlet wants them to publish. You can see, hey, quote here, a quote down here as well. This is a ready-made article, and at least 3 outlets, by the way, did publish this ready-made article. So they were in that certain Aquaman starlet's camp. They were writing exactly what that PR team wanted them to write for her. But as the New York Post is reporting, that isn't enough for her, not by a long shot. So she has hired another PR firm, a firm that has gone after JD before. One, by the way, that has put out salacious gossip about JD before, things that have been debunked. You had Keenan Wyatt go on the stand and debunk this. This, by the way, was reported by none other than the New York Post, the one telling you that PR team had been fired. That's part of the PR move. She is so desperate now. She is actually advertising, firing her PR teams, saying that's the fault of them. And yeah, hey, if you report this, New York Post, wink, wink, nod, nod, we'll actually give you some stuff that'll really set things on fire. Now, the funny thing about all of this is that's just the beginning from what I'm hearing. From behind-the-scenes sources, I'm hearing that she is very angry about her legal team as well. That's why they've been performing like they've been performing. That's why they seem so upset, because it's not just them going out and bungling certain aspects in the case. It's because she is there. She is angry, and she is taking it out on them, and bitterly. This wouldn't be the first time that she sacked a legal team either. In fact, she's done this multiple times. You can see this mentioned here in this document, for example, with Disney talking about when they dealt with that certain Aquaman starlet. Listen to this. I think this is very telling on how fast she would sack a legal team. More importantly, that certain Aquaman starlet's previous counsel. So they're telling you they were fired. They're stated to Disney's counsel that they did not want or expect all documents in Disney's possession. During negotiations over the scope of a subpoena, it became clear that their strategy was to show that Disney did not have documents showing a linkage between that certain Aquaman starlet's public records and JD's career, so to minimize her damages. After multiple telephone calls and emails with that certain Aquaman starlet's conversation between counsel over the course of several months, Disney's legal staff interviewed key documents custodians. They reported back to her counsel what documents were readily available, and that counsel at the time, they stated, hey, that's going to be good. Around the time that those documents were given, though, it was told that that certain Aquaman starlet had hired new counsel. That counsel, they wanted to switch off. They wanted to approach things differently. Why? Because that certain Aquaman starlet insisted on it. At the time, she felt she was losing even with Disney, and she sacked people for that. And she also sacked her legal representation, or she threatened them multiple times because of things that didn't go her way, where she lost motions before the trial. She lost a lot of them, by the way. The most notable of which were when she tried to get this case dismissed. Not once, not twice, not even 3 times like it notes. She actually tried even more than that. But one of the times that she tried to argue this, it was the same thing that her legal representation is arguing in the courtroom. A judge struck down the idea that this didn't name JD, so it couldn't be about him. Yeah, they're losing with the same argument that she didn't want to keep people on with before. Now they're losing in the public. Everyone can see it. Everyone can comment on it, and you know that she's reading about that. So yeah, from what I'm understanding, she is blowing a gasket behind the scenes. She is mad at everyone. You can see the proof. She's already sacked her PR people because they cannot spin this in a way that she wants. And she's talking about wanting to get rid of everyone else that's attached. That's why you see Rottenborn making so many mistakes out there, objecting to his own motions because it's going so badly. Oh man, I swear, when you look at this case and you look at what's happened up till now, you look at from 2017 when she put out her own narrative, everything was going smoothly for her. She owned the mainstream until now when the world sees exactly what went on. Yeah, she thinks the lawyers, they're the ones responsible for it. She thinks the PR teams, they're the ones responsible for it. But at the end of the day, they don't bear any responsibility. They're just trying to spin it. Ultimately, the responsibility, it's on one person she can't blame. Why? Because she doesn't want to look in the mirror and point her finger at herself. But anyway, let me know what you think about all of this. If you want to help out the channel too, there's a link in the description that is for our book. This is the way that we send messages to the mainstream companies that back this nonsense. They not only went after a guy for years knowing the truth about this, but they told customers, you don't get any say. We don't care what you want. Yeah, staple your wallet shut for them. Walk towards something better. Send a loud message. Help us do that. Thank you again for being here too. Can't say that enough. Thank you. Going to end here. Thank you again. See you soon.